I wanted something small enough that could tuck very neatly into your pocket, while also being hefty enough to handle itself on the field, along with being a great food prep knife and a great steak knife to keep with you at all times. And while keeping the same lines from the Wilderness Bowie lineup. And thus, the PWB EDC was born. Also, the hundreds of messages encouraging me to do so. Hope you enjoy this blade. Sincerely, David Puzon, Work Tough Gear designer. So there you go, guys. A message from David Puzon himself, the designer of another great fixed blade EDC from Work Tough Gear. Just adds to the argument that I always make, that a lot of people make, the fact that Work Tough Gear is making some of the best fixed blade EDCs on the market right now. They're just hitting them out of the park with each and every knife that they come out with, and this is definitely no exception. I gotta tell you, I really have been enjoying carrying this knife. I am really digging this knife a lot. I'm actually digging knives of this size. I feel like knives of this size, blades of this size to carry every day are just more practical. They're more practical size knives. For people who don't want or have a need to carry big knives, this is a go-to knife that can do so much for you. It's got the power of a fixed blade, the power of Work Tough Gear quality, and the steel and everything that was put into this knife and how it was designed and made just makes it for such a great go-to knife for everything you may need with it every day. Consistency. With every knife that I review or have my hands on from Work Tough Gear, you notice there always is an edge that is ready for work, an edge that is always sharp, ready to do what you need it to do right out of the box. Alright guys, so I did my own precise measurements with this knife, just to give you an idea that if you were interested in purchasing this knife, what I have in hand, what you may have in hand, if you should pick one up. So the blade itself is around 3.4 inches in length, it's about 1.3 inches in width, it's at its widest side, 2.8 millimeters in thickness. It's a little thin behind the edge, but it's more of a slicer. It's not really a banger, but it's definitely enough to get through everything that I was using it with. The handle is a healthy 4.3 inches in length. The inner grip of the handle, which is important, at 3.3 inches, will fit most hands. For a knife this size is perfect. And it's got 0.8 inches in girth in the G10, so your hand will definitely hug it pretty comfortably. And it's about 7.7 inches overall. The blade is a Bowler N690 Cryo, which I'll get to, with a 58 to 60 HRC. It's got one of my favorites, saber grind combination with a convex edge. It's a Bowie style knife with a satin finish. G10 jungle camo with a beautiful full steel tang. The weight of the knife without the sheath is 5.6 ounces. With the sheath, which is a friction fit Kydex sheath with a swivel loop fit, is 6.5 ounces. What's interesting to me about this Bowler N690 steel, that it's a cryo Bowler N690 steel, which means it's cryogenically treated during the heat tempering process. It goes through the process of cooling the steel to an extremely low temperature, like with liquid nitrogen, during the heat temperament, which helps to refine the grain structure and reduce internal stress. The benefits of cryo treatments, good stuff. Improved edge retention, increased wear resistance, and enhanced toughness and chip resistance. That's why I do these tests also, doing the steel belted stuff, which is really tough materials, especially the tubing that Scab got me, which is a lot thicker than the standard sandblast hose, steel reinforced steel, extremely hard to cut, and especially with a knife this size and a knife with this weight. But I was able to kind of really fight through it, and I wanted to fight through it to see basically if I would have any damage to the edge, or if I was able to see any big difference in the edge retention during the rest of the test during this demo. And honestly, it handled itself well. I didn't see any major damage, and I'm pretty impressed with this steel and with this cryogenic treatment. These damn tip tests. Since it is a shallow tip and it's about 2.8 millimeters of thickness, you may have those people out there that are going to say, oh, is the tip going to break if you do a tip test? Is the tip going to break on me? No, the tip didn't break. I did this on purpose. Again, to force any pressure on the edge, on the point. Listen, if I wanted to break this point, I could break the point, but in reasonable ways of basically testing it, the point held up fine. I don't think I ever expect to see a problem with any point or any edge retention from Work Tough gear, but this being a little thin behind the point, you may not want to attack it as much as you would other knives, but it did pretty well just on its own. Now, is a knife this size normally used for batoning? No. But can you baton with this knife if you need to? Absolutely. I like to demonstrate, it's actually fun to demonstrate how tough all Work Tough gear knives are, regardless of their size. This knife is pretty much an all-around package. If you need to baton with it, small branches, nothing too crazy, something that can fit around this blade, you can do it. If need be, it can get the job done. And of course, this PWB EDC can be your outdoor camp knife. It's a type of knife that is just versatile to carry, very easy to carry, can stick into any pants pocket, side pocket, and it's a great slicer. It comes out and is ready to play. It's ready to be a great slicer for you. Manageable in the hand, comfortable in the hand, great convex edge, good edge retention, and just the toughness behind the point and the heat tempering, that the way it's made, that you know it's going to handle pretty much even like vigorous environments and stuff. Listen, it's not a big knife and you're not going to hammer this down and go crazy with it, but it is just such a convenient, great little carry that can just do so much. It's a versatile little, handy little knife, and just I really enjoyed using it, and I enjoy all these size knives from Work Tough gear. They're all made really well. Very convenient. So guys, if you like my videos and you like my knife reviews, don't forget to subscribe. If you are not subscribed, and a like and a share go a long way to help out the channel. And don't forget about my channel memberships, 3 tiers that are also included in the description. This is the PWB EDC, the Puzon Wilderness Bowie, another great small fixed blade, everyday fixed blade from Work Tough gear. Many thanks to Work Tough gear, Mr. Vic, for sending this all my way to be able to show to you. I always enjoy reviewing and playing with and using Work Tough gear knives. I think they're some of the best knives made out there today. As of the drop of this video, it is available in stock at worktoughgear.com or DOT Trading. I'll leave the link to both in the description. If you're interested in a knife of this size, this one will definitely not disappoint.